Well, hello, I am here today, and my name is Deborah Rosinski, Executive Director of Bainbridge Arts and Crafts. I'm here today with Bella Kim, who is one of our selected artists in our upcoming show we're calling Fresh Talent. We've never shown Bella's work in the gallery before, and we're excited to have it. Bella, it's great that you made some time for us to have this conversation. So thank you for that. And I'd love to ask you to describe your background a bit for us and how you came to the place you're in now, the place you're living, the place you're working, the place you're in with your artwork, all of the above.
Okay, and first of all, thank you for inviting this interview. And I'm very excited to display my art in Bainbridge Art and Craft in October. And I was born and raised in South Korea. I was the youngest of 3 girls. And I remember when I was a child, I copied my sister's art activities, such as making paper dolls and cartoons and origamis. And especially I love to share handmade Christmas cards. And I believe my 2 sisters influenced me a lot that time. But the only one that took art major was I. And also, I had chance to learn using sewing machine from my grandmother. I was 13 years old at that time. I really wanted to make Barbie dolls clothes. I made them using worn out socks. It may be the first trial for my recycled art, I think. And I also realized that my creative activity was a way to strengthen my relationships with others by giving my handmade gifts. So I thought I got some talents in art because I saw people like my art. So finally, I chose design and fabric dyeing as my major in college.
This was in Korea?
Yes, yeah. And I graduated from Ewha University in Seoul. After that, I got a master's degree in fiber art in the same school.
Did you have teachers or mentors that were particularly influential?
Yes, my teacher was a very frontier fiber artist. Her name is Yeon-sun Jang, and now she is very actively making art in the world. Yes, so still I connected her, but she influenced me a lot after graduating and at the college.
And then after school, were you in Korea for a while still, or did you?
Yes. After graduating from college, I had annual exhibitions with my fiber major, fiber art alumni and my teachers. And at that time, this group was very frontier in Korea. We were all women and worked on dyeing, coloring, quilting, and unique techniques with fabric. And our group had exhibitions at various places and with different themes. Also, our art included wall hangings, installations, and miniatures and ornaments too. And this group influenced me the most in my art life. And that experience made my art world extended to mixed media later. In those days, I also started experiments of creating three-dimensional structures with fabric materials, because I didn't want to make my art only by dyeing or coloring on the fabric or textile pattern, but I also wanted three-dimensional structures. So I started on them to make thicker and layered and folded them like paper or attached wires. I can show the samples. Yeah, this one I layered and I sewing stitches and folded it, and I gave it a structure. And this one also folded like paper.
So,
I gave it a function. It's teacups. I imagined teacups.
inspired by origami, perhaps?
Yes, yeah, that's true. And another one, this one is
Wow.
miniature sculpture. I can say the base, and this folded fabric and sewing stitches, I gave it some structures.
That's really wonderful.
Thank you. And attached wire, I attached wire on this line and this line, and it can be all bend easily, and I can give it a structure too.
Are you sewing like tubes into the fabric and running the wire?
Right, yes, I made a tunnel and get through the wire.
Great. Now the piece we have in the exhibition, does that have that wire structure in it as well, or no?
That is not, I didn't use wire at all, just thread and yarns and leftover fabrics and recycling the materials. Yeah.
Maybe more similar to the pieces hanging on the wall behind you?
Oh, yes, right. Yeah, it's my experiment, recent testing for fabrics and other materials. Yeah, most of them recyclable material. I enjoy. I focused on recyclable materials.
How did that become an inspiration for you? Did it just evolve over time?
Yeah, I can say about one. It's global warming. Something these days most people focus on save the earth, and that inspired me. And I will tell you later. But I met a person very important for my life. She was a very enthusiastic conservationist. So it's pretty influenced me to focus on recycled. Yeah, so that time I focused on structures and shape more that time. And because I wanted to express unexpected aspect of fabric, because people generally think fabric is soft, but I wanted to give fabric another attractive point. So until I moved to the US, I had annual exhibitions and taught art in a few technical colleges for a few years.
What brought you to the United States?
Yeah, we all family immigrated in the US in 1999. And yes, it's new life start after I come here. Yeah. So after I moved, I had a new experience a lot here. So
New language and
right. And for several years since I moved, I had a kind of silent period in my artist career. I had to get used to this new world by learning the English language and culture. And my husband and my two boys were trying to adapt the new world in each field too. So at that time, I couldn't think about myself. For me, as a wife and a mom, I should have supported my family every day. And one day in 2001, I took a job at an antique repair store as a painter. And it was a kind of fun. And that made me think of becoming an artist again in this country. And I often visited art galleries and museums. And so gradually, I explored a new way of thinking about art. So I found craft art was very popular in America. That encouraged me to create small art pieces. And by the time I was diagnosed with my hip joint problem, I thought I would be sedentary for my life. So I decided to make small pieces such as ornaments, ties, brooches, and bags. I can show you that time my art displayed and sold at the local galleries. And this one, it ties.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah, I made fun myself. And this one is pin. And also this bag,
Uh-huh.
I wrapped on wire with yarns, and people called whimsical.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Appropriate. So you've really expanded from there. It seems making more sculptural and fine art pieces now.
Yes, right. Yeah.
I was really interested in the piece you called, or there was Zoom in the name because I guess affected by the pandemic and all the Zoom calls everybody is on. And the piece had so many rectangles in it.
Right. You saw that my Zoom world, that the title was Zoom World.
Yeah,
Yes.
I liked your interpretation of how we've all been reduced to these little rectangular
Right. Now
ourselves.
right. Yeah. So after pandemic, I could have chance to do more my artwork. And before pandemic, after I moved in Gig Harbor, I joined a Korean American artist group in Washington State, 2009. I participated in annual group exhibits since then. And since I joined in this group, my art life entered a new phase, I can call new phase. In the new phase, I wanted to discover a larger community and share my story through exhibition arts. And I also participated in RAGS, which is a juried wearable art sale and show for YWCA fundraising for domestic violence victims in Pierce County.
Mhm.
And Draped with the Nature is a shawl, can be an installation. This made of thread, yarn, and leftover fabrics. Since I settled in Northwest, I have been surrounded by forest. I was inspired by fall leaves. And in 2010, I joined Gallery 3 in Puyallup, which was a co-op gallery. And I kept making small art pieces, a lot that time. So I enjoyed making various items for displaying that rotated seasonally at the gallery. So that time I made the necklace,
Mm. Mhm.
necklace and pin,
Mm.
and earrings. And even I made coasters, the leftover fabric.
Mhm.
And it's a lot different kinds. Yeah, this was the scarf.
Yes, it's like your wall pieces.
Yes, right. That definitely that I started that time.
Yeah.
And this one is that. Yeah, this one. It's seasonal. It's for Christmas.
Uh-huh. We like the way you're using the different fabrics to create patterns and kind of your use of line and texture. It's really beautiful.
And joy. This photo is joy. This is one of early works that I made when I started using recyclable materials.
Mhm.
I expressed the greatest joy that I felt one day. The bottom part of this work is colorful, representing human greed. As it goes up above, it loses colors and gradually gets purified, giving me the greatest joy.
Mm.
The next one is nostalgia. This is also one of early works using recyclable materials. This was made with inspiration of old places being missed. The next one is Mr. Green, which is an image I met in the woods. It came to me as an image of a man of green. The next one is Wind. This is a wall hanging and a real bag. You may see the wind effect through the flying hats and strings. This is Return of Jogakbo, will be displayed in Bainbridge Art and Craft. Jogak means a small piece and bo means wrapping sheet in Korean. I thought the title Return of the Jogakbo because in the past, jogakbo was made with leftover cloths from bedding, clothing. But here I used plastic mesh bags, dryer sheets, leftover fabric. This is Zoom World. During pandemic, many people have been using Zoom application a lot. I personally did not know of it until pandemic. But these days I use it at least once a week. So I think Zoom is a symbol of this pandemic. Its vertical cone shape means the unstable status of our future, but is hoping for utopia. Numerous boxes are individuals in different colors and sizes, but look similar and all are connected to form the entire world. The next one is A Dream of Spring. This one is also made of recyclable materials. The bright colors that came from snack packages reflect spring sprouts and young flowers. We Wanna Dance is the latest artwork this year. It has not been shown to the public yet. Since pandemic, our country has struggled with inequality that triggered the BLM movement. This piece expresses my idea that the human world would be more beautiful, livelier, when people in different colors are mixed in balance and harmony, as we see in the nature world.
Well, thank you for talking to us today and taking the time. And we're looking forward to having the show up very soon and talking to you in person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Be sure not to miss the Fresh Talent exhibition featuring 30 regional artists, all of them new to the gallery, at Bainbridge Arts and Crafts from October 1st through October 31st.